What do you say to the people out there that are being confronted with these long waits and how do they handle that emotionally? And how do you handle that not just breaking? I guess they'd have to reach out to you and kind of get that early input.
It's really difficult because oftentimes they're not told their life's going to be on hold for a year and a half. What they're told is, like this client that I had that took 18 months, the morning he got accused of this, he was pulled out of his job, taken to his 06's office, put at parade rest, and basically berated by his colonel and sergeant major, calling him a piece of crap, a dirtbag. They told him he was guilty, and they gave him no work to do. And so he lost his promotion to sergeant. He wasn't able to do work within his MOS, and they basically told him he's going to prison. Like, that was the mindset. And these clowns, these piss poor leaders with no moral courage, this colonel and this sergeant major that had just zero moral courage and couldn't hold off to say, let's look at what the evidence shows. Let's look at if this Marine actually did what he's accused of. They had zero moral courage, and they took this Marine and put him out to pasture, and he was a great Marine. Prior to this allegation, he just a great Marine about to make sergeant. And so he waited for months and months and months and was never given a lot of information because the prosecutor doesn't want to tell you how long this is going to take. They strung him along for like 9 months before they charged him. So he was under investigation for 9 months before they actually charged him. And, in a case, I've seen cases where it's a year and a half before you're even charged, and which is absurd. I mean, it really is absurd because in state court or in federal court, they can do an investigation and make a decision pretty quickly if they're going to charge you. But in the military, especially if it's sexual assault, God forbid they don't take all the time they need to. But what they do in 10, 11 months, real investigators could do in a month or 2 months because they have so many cases that are out there, so many bogus cases of sexual assault in particular, that they'll do one investigative action on one case and let it sit for a month, do another investigative action, let it sit for a month. And so they'll string these cases along. And then once an individual gets charged, it's probably a month or 2 months before they do the Article 32 and the charges get referred. And then once you get referred and the case goes to an arraignment, it may be 4 months, 6 months to a year for it to get to trial. And so, we talk about moral courage. The people with moral courage aren't these piss poor commanders who, all of a sudden assume you're guilty immediately. What I see, the Marines and these soldiers and these sailors and airmen with moral courage are the ones that say, I didn't do what I'm accused of, and you can give me the, quote, best plea deal you can give me, but I didn't do what you're accusing me of, so I'm taking it to trial. If that means I have to go wait a year, if that means it's going to cost me a lot of money to go hire, competent counsel that's going to prove my innocence, so be it, because they have integrity. A lot of these Marines, they have integrity. They have moral courage, and their name and their reputation actually means something, and they're going to fight it out. If you're a military service member and you've been accused of a crime you did not commit, don't just take the first plea deal that they try to shove down your face. If you have the moral courage to do what's right and clear your name, you can take this case to trial, and these cases can be won. Give me a call at 813-669-3500 or look us up on our website, www.bileckilawgroup.com, and let's take the fight back to the government.